Chat, can we talk about Stranger Things season 5 really fast? And what I basically mean going to be talking about today is some of the theories I've been hearing and everything, and some of my own theories. So number one theory I've been hearing was there was meant to be a final episode coming out last night. Jokes on all of you guys, there was no final episode. The final episode came out already. The final fight and everything else like that has already been out. Personal opinion here. I thought season was peak for a little bit up until the final episode. Didn't think they did the final fight good, but it is what it is. Series over. Right. But the whole thing behind it is I want to talk about some of the interesting theories. First theory heard of was that the idea that Vecna like faked it all, like in the sense of he was never there. They fought the Mind Flare, and that was the way of getting rid of, 11 and stuff, but Vecna was never there. He's still in hiding, healing from the first ever fight with them and getting stronger. So that's an interesting theory, I thought. Mainly, I think the idea behind that one kind of more comes from, well, why didn't Vecna use any of his powers basically the whole season like he did like last season, like lifting people up in the air and stuff like that? Just a bunch of just different stuff, right? So that's was kind of like, I mean, probably the first ever thought of that like theory is, for one, Vecna didn't seem to be doing what he was doing back in the day. He kind of seemed a lot weaker, and the fight didn't go on for long enough. So I think that's probably where that theory stems from. Um, Theory that I also saw was we were just playing in a D&D game, which I actually think that would actually be kind of dumb. Like, no offense, I would hate that idea, but at the same time it would be kind of cool if, like, in the first season where he asked his mom 5 extra minutes to play the D&D game, and she says no, if the reality of it is she said yeah, and in those 5 minutes you're kind of experiencing every single thing that, like, happened in the game. My personal theory here is on Stranger Things, all that and everything, is I think a cool way they could have ended it out was by Will writing like the end, and it was a whole entire, like, I guess, like, story collection type thing that Will was writing. Mainly because he had like a huge amount of like idea in the artistic skill and everything, and it was more kind of seen in season four when we drew that picture and stuff. I think that was season four, either season four or season three. Oh, I haven't went back on the seasons in a while now, so don't quote me on that. But I don't know. Like, there's like a lot of theories floating around right now. Honestly, I just think that the Duffer Brothers, or whatever the hell the creator's name was. No offense to you guys. You guys just kind of wrote a shitty end to a good series. I thought the series was excellent for most part. Obviously, some parts were shitty, but what can you do? The whole thing behind it is I really just think that, like, you should have came up with a better idea for the final fight. Like, the final fight could have been pieced into like two episodes. Like, the first episode taking on the Mind Flayer, second episode taking on the Vecna as a creature. Saying that both of them are like meant to be like some of the strongest fucking creatures, and no offense to this or nothing, but where was the military at in this whole thing? You're not gonna beat these creatures with like 12 fucking people. Not even with like 40 people, you're not beating this shit. Give them all bazookas, you're not killing these guys. Um, just no offense or nothing. Because, like, for one, Vecna is just gonna boom, 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 boom. He can throw shit. And I get that, like, 11 has that power also, but it was shown in season 4 that Vecna was weaker than 11. 11 did not have the amount of power Vecna did. And Vecna was meant to be stronger this season. Not to mention, so what the hell ever happened with that shit and everything? I don't know, dude. I feel like there was like just some major like plot things there, and it's not even like plot holes I'm talking about right now. These are like you just went like and diverged off your own plot of your own show, dude. And I get it. Obviously, it's not easy to write a show. It's not easy to write anything over a long period of time. Maybe don't take so long then to fucking write it. Write it all at the beginning, like season one. Like, I feel like that's what a lot of people do if they expect to show, like, if they plan on telling a story. You write it all before you even act on it. That's the whole thing behind it. If you're trying to tell me a story, you shouldn't be writing the first part of it, then 8 years down the road, write the second part of it, because guess what, it's just not going to be as coherent with the first part. There's going to be plot issues with it. There's going to be a bunch of issues with it. Main reason, because you don't remember every last little detail that you had in the story. You don't remember the things that you were trying to apply and everything into the story. The laws of the land, I guess, will have to change in order for it to even continue. And I get it. They kind of also probably had a rush this season, mainly because the kids were getting old at this shit at this point. Not old as shit, but I mean, compared to what they started this series out as, they're old. They're old now. And I'm just being honest, everything, dude. It was a good show. I enjoyed it personally. I didn't enjoy the final episode mainly just because the fight wasn't good. No offense to them or nothing, but what are we doing in that fight? Fucking it's like 7 minutes. God, you guys had longer fights in every other season for these motherfuckers. You guys almost had whole episode fights in most seasons. So whatever happened with that?